What's up, you guys? Eddie at Fliptroniks. So I'm going to be doing the top 10 best paid games for the iPhone 7 and iPhone 7 Plus, and I'm going to be kicking off with a game called Neon Drive. As I'm doing this video, you guys can check out the links in the description for all of these games, and I totally appreciate a like and a share on this video. But this first game we're going to be getting into is called Neon Drive. It's a car racing game that's got like a 1980s style to it, but it's just pretty sweet, you guys. It's just a really cool game. Almost reminds me of like Tron, not the newer Tron, but like the old school Tron from I think 1982 or 84 or something like that. But it's got a really good soundtrack to it too, and it's just beautifully done. You guys can see in the distance there's like a city too, which looks pretty amazing. And I just think it's a beautiful looking game for sure. It's level based, so I mean you got to beat each level to progress in the game, and it's pretty challenging too, so I think anybody out there that wants to play a pretty challenging game will appreciate this one for sure. And like I said, you guys, it's called Neon Drive, so I'm going to actually do one more run through, see if I can do a little bit better here before we move on to game 2. Alright, so far so good. You gotta be pretty quick in this game. Alright, guys, I'm going to move on to game number 2, but that's Neon Drive. This game, like I said, it's a beautiful looking game, just a very, very cool one. Leo's Fortune is my second game, you guys. This game's an adventure style game, and Leo is pretty much like a version of like a Kirby. But as far as like the actual game, it's a beautiful looking game, you guys, and I think anybody out there would really like this one. So, it's game number 2 for me, and hope you guys enjoy a little bit of the gameplay on it. The game's also got a pretty good soundtrack to it too. It's not like annoying at all, and it does actually get pretty challenging once you get a little bit farther in this game. It's definitely not the easiest game. But yeah, like I said, I'm really not sure what Leo is. He's pretty much just a, blue fuzzy ball. But Kirby was the only thing I could really think of relating as far as like how he flies around and stuff. Alright, guys, I'm going to move on to the next game, but like I said, this is Leo's Fortune, just a beautiful looking game, and it's just a really cool adventure game. Next game I've got on here, you guys, is Street Fighter Volt. So this game is actually, very cool. As far as anybody who, loves a cool fighting game or, is an old school fan of Street Fighter, this game is pretty awesome. So anyways, we'll get into some of the gameplay on it, and, I hope you guys enjoy some of it. But like I said, just a really, really cool game. Alright, the game looks pretty sharp too. I mean, visually it's definitely a sharp looking Street Fighter game. Alright, you guys, I got KO'd right there, but this is Street Fighter Vault, you guys. Like I said, a really cool fighting game. And, you know, as far as Street Fighter goes, you guys, I'm sure anybody out there who's a fan of the series would definitely appreciate that one. So the next game I've got on here is Lords of the Fallen. This is a newer game, you guys. You know, we've done some gameplay in it as of late. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's a lot like Infinity Blade and Infinity Blade 3 to be more specific. So anybody who's played that game before, you know, definitely like this one. But this game's pretty much just like a hack and slash type of game, but it's still really fun. So I hope you guys enjoy a little bit of the gameplay on this one too.
Your beloved queen, not a trace of humanity.
So like I said, you guys, this game's pretty much like a hack and slash game, but it's just really cool. So oh yeah, so that's Lords of the Fallen, just a really cool hack and slash type of third-person fighting game. Definitely worth checking out if you guys, like I said, like Infinity Blade or any kind of games like that one. So the next game I've got in here is called Goblin Sword. This game's pretty cool, you guys. It's a paid app. It's like a couple of bucks, but it's like old school, kind of like arcade style cool. So anyways, we'll get into some of the gameplay on it so you guys can see what it's all about. But definitely get that, you know, old school vibe to it, which makes it just a really fun game. Plus, I think this one's got, you know, a ton of positive reviews on it too in the App Store. I'm pretty positive about that. Some of the enemies in this game are pretty funny looking. The snakes, there's like some flying ghosts and all kinds of weird stuff going on. So it's definitely a little bit strange, but it's a cool game. Looks like there's like a fox with an axe, pretty weird. And then there's like a dinosaur looking character right there. So like I said, the enemies in this game are, you know, pretty weird looking. But yeah, so that's Goblin Sword. I'm going to keep things moving along, but a pretty cool game. I've got Canabalt. This game is, you know, a straight like runner style, so you're just really trying to see how far you can go. Basically, like the theme of this game is the city's collapsing, and you kind of just need to keep moving as fast as you can. But it's a cool game, you guys. It kind of reminds me of Vector a little bit, but you know, a little bit different. But it's, you know, a cool looking game, you guys. As far as how it looks, like I said, it was done pretty well. I think the developers did a good job when, you know, the theme of the game. It's got a really good soundtrack to it too. Alrighty guys, so that's Canabalt. Really cool game. I think it's like a couple of dollars, but you know, worth checking out for sure. GTA Vice City, you guys, I had to put this on here because you know, I'm a big fan of pretty much all the GTA games on the App Store, but Vice City is probably my favorite. The gameplay is just as good as the original, you guys, on the consoles, and you know, it's a pretty big file as far as like the download of it, but you know, it's absolutely worth checking out for sure.
Go get some sleep. What are you gonna do? I'll drop by your office tomorrow and we can start sorting this mess out.
Alright guys, so I'm not going to spend too much time on Vice City, but you guys can see like, you know, the game is just as good as the original. Plays really smooth on here, and it's just a really cool game. So, alright, next game I've got on here, you guys, is Causality. So this game is a bit newer. It's a, you know, puzzle-based game, but I've had a lot of fun playing it so far, this, you know, from what I've played, and I definitely think it's worth checking out if you guys like a cool puzzle game. So, we'll get into some of the gameplay on it. Alright, so basically what you're doing in this game, you guys, is just trying to go from level to level. You have a certain amount of moves you can make, so you have to, you know, get them done within a certain amount of steps. What's pretty cool about this game too, you guys, is that you can reverse time. So if you guys make a wrong move or you want to just go backwards, you can do that, which is really cool. But anyways, you guys, if you guys like a cool puzzle game, Causality is definitely where it's at, and that's a newer game too, you guys. The next game I've got on here is called Race for the Sun. So this game is just like a beautiful, like, you know, high score flying game. It's just really cool. So I hope you guys enjoy a little bit of the gameplay on this one as well. This game's also got a really good soundtrack on it too. Alright guys, I want to move on to the final game I've got on this list, and as I'm wrapping it up, like I said, you guys can check out the links in the description for these games, and the final game I've got in here is Super Mario Run. So even though this game's free to try out, you guys, it is, you know, paid after the first 3 levels, so you pretty much only get the first 3 levels for free, but I totally think that, you know, it's worth paying for. You know, I've said it before in previous videos, you guys, I actually paid for this game, then I ended up, you know, accidentally deleting it, and I haven't paid for it again since, just because I haven't had time, but I definitely think it's a game that, you know, you should, you know, make the purchase. It's a really fun game, plus anybody who loves Super Mario will definitely, you know, love this game. So anyways, we're just going to do some gameplay on it. Like I said, you guys, you can check out the links in the description for all these games I just went through, and they're all really good options as far as, you know, paid games go, and you'll definitely get your money's worth on all of them, and, you know, you won't regret them. Let's see how I haven't played Mario Run in a little bit, but the game is just really sweet. This is totally a game you can kind of just keep playing over and over again too. Alright, you guys, as always, thanks for watching this video. Stay tuned for more and be sure to subscribe to our channel.